All right, I'll see you guys up there. All right. Good to see you. All right. Hey, everyone. Hey. Hi. Thank you all so much for coming out to our first ever Facebook Community Summit. It's great to be here in Chicago with all of you, where there's so much great work that's going on building communities. Now, before we get started today, I want to introduce myself. I'm Mark, and I'm a member of the Zuckerberg family group. I am also a member of Max's Circle, which is like our family group, except we all just share cute photos of my daughter doing ridiculous things. I'm also a member of about 5 different groups for people who like the same kind of dog as I do. That's actually my dog. His name is Beast. He's a Poolie, which means he's basically a walking mop, except instead of making things cleaner, he makes them dirtier. All right, and there are thousands of other dogs like him on the internet. All right, now, not that many people know this, but I'm actually an admin, too, of a group for people who like playing the video game Civilization. Small group. But, like you, I've had to sort through and filter a lot of requests from people who don't actually play the game. So I know what a lot of you are going through. All right, now some communities are more serious, though. We recently created a community to support my dad, who is recovering from heart surgery. And Dad, if you're watching this on the live stream, I know that everyone here is sending our love to you and praying for a quick recovery, and I'll see you in a few days when I'm back home. Now, all of you here today have built some of the strongest communities on Facebook. You built communities for new moms and dads, for helping kids get into college. One of the leaders here today, Derek Hooker, runs a community of locksmiths. Where are you, Derek? Now, Derek, being a locksmith can be a lonely job. So, your group gives them a sense of community. Absolutely. And when your members heard that we were hosting a community summit, dozens of them wrote in to us to tell us that we had to invite you to be here with us today. So I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for coming. Now, as I've sat down with a lot of you to hear your stories about building communities, a few themes have really stuck with me. You've all been thrust into these unexpected leadership positions. You started a group for something that you really care about, and now there are thousands of people who depend on you to keep that community going strong. Right? And this is something that I can relate to. Right? I originally started Facebook because I wanted to connect the community at my college. But I always thought that one day someone was going to help connect the whole world, but I never thought it was going to be us. We were just college kids. I would have been happy if we connected our whole dorm. But this idea, we cared about so much that all people want to connect. So we just kept pushing forward on it, day after day after day, just like all of you. Now, another thing that's impressed me as I've had a chance to sit down with some of you is, you're not doing this, you're not building groups because they're going to, they're going to look good on your resume. You're doing it because you just care about bringing people together. And, a few weeks ago, I had a chance to meet Lola Amalola. Where are you, Lola? Now, Lola lives in Chicago. She's originally from Nigeria, and about 2 years ago, she started the secret Facebook group Female In, which she describes as a no-judgment support group for women, to give them a safe place to care about all kinds of issues that they care about, from work to marriage to health issues. And today, your community has more than 1 million people around the world, all women, and all because one woman cared enough to give them a voice. So we are all here trying to do the most good we can for our communities. We know how lucky we are to be here and have this opportunity, and we know how much we owe it to our communities to give back. Now today, I actually want to share a milestone that we're really close to reaching for the overall Facebook community. Just a couple of days ago, I was talking to the woman who's in charge of growing the Facebook community around the world, and she told me, well, first of all, her name is Naomi Gleit. She's going to be here tomorrow at the Community Summit, and talking about great stories of leadership. Naomi joined us more than 10 years ago, right out of college, and she's worked her way up within the company, so now she runs this big group that's in charge of trying to connect more and more people around the world. And a couple days ago when we talked, she told me that we are now very close to reaching 2 billion people in the overall Facebook community. Can you believe that? It's a great milestone, but it also means that we just have an even greater responsibility in the world now. Every day I wake up and I just think to myself, I don't have much time here on Earth. Right? How can I make the greatest positive impact that I can? And I know that this is a question that a lot of you ask yourselves too, and it's not always an easy question to answer. Right? And some days I wake up and I just want to be with my daughter and teach her everything I've learned. Some nights I go to bed and I'm not sure if I made the right decisions that day. Right? And I can tell you that feeling doesn't go away, or no matter who you are or what you're doing. But every day you can just wake up and do your best and try to make the world a little bit better. Now, the thing that I think we all need to do right now is work to bring people closer together. And I think that this is actually so important that we're going to change Facebook's whole mission as a company in order to focus on this. So, for the last decade or so, we've been focusing on making the world more open and connected. And we're not done with this yet. We're always going to do this. But I used to think that if we just gave people a voice and helped some people connect, that would make the world a lot better all by itself. And in a lot of ways it has. But today, when we look around, our society is still very divided. Right? So now I believe that we have a responsibility to do even more. Right? Not simply connect the world, but also work to bring the world closer together. So we need to give people a voice to make sure that we can get a diversity of opinions out there. But we also need to help build enough common ground so we can all move forward and make progress together. We need to help stay connected with the people we already know and care about. But we also need to meet new people with new perspectives too. We need support from our family and our friends. But we also need to build communities to support us in new ways too. So for 10 years now, our mission has been to make the world more open and connected. And we are always going to focus on this. We're always going to work to give more people a voice and to